The second Exodus novel will be released on June 16, 2026. Its story takes place after the events of the upcoming game, and this made some people ask, does this mean the game's story is somehow spoiled in the book? Does it somehow railroad the game's story and limit its options? And I don't think it does. I believe the game's story can still develop in any way, including June's failure, and it will still fit what we already know from the novel. What do we know from the novel? Lydon, the homeworld from the game, is briefly mentioned a few times in the book. The first time, it's literally called a shithole. Then it's called a supposed paradise. And finally, we learn that Lydon's tech wizards can provide humans with wondrous implants enhancing human abilities. That essentially only tells us that Lydon is still around, but we know nothing of its situation. It could be a thriving world, it could just as well be a doomed planet whose inhabitants are preparing for a slow evacuation. In the game, the story will be about saving Lydon from a cataclysmic event. Lydon's Archimedes Engine is failing, and we will be trying to find a way to avoid the world's destruction. I wish that in the game there is the option to fail this task, and if we do, it wouldn't mean anything for the events of the book. Archimedes engines have been around for thousands of years, and the engine's failure isn't something that happens overnight. It's a slow process, and Lydon may have at least a few hundred years to properly adjust or evacuate the planet. The fact that Lydon has technological wizards who can do wonders also doesn't really mean anything for Lydon's status. During the game, we will be exploring ancient celestial sites, bringing strange technology that is far ahead of anything humans have. No matter how your story evolves, you will advance Lydon's technological capabilities. Various implants will probably be nothing compared to other things you bring from your travels. All in all, during the book's timeline, Lydon can be a paradise or ready to be abandoned, and both fit the events of the novel. Now, what about the Celestials? In the game, we will mostly be interacting with the Crown Dominion. In the novel, we follow a storyline involving big Crown Dominion players. We also get a feeling that nothing too drastic has happened to Crown Celestials in a few thousand years, which overlaps with the game's events. In fact, the game's timeline would be very recent in the Celestial eyes. But that doesn't really limit the game's storyline in any way because of the status quo of the Centauri cluster. This game isn't about a revolution against the Celestials. It isn't about finding a secret Celestial base and blowing it up to save humans from Celestial oppression. Most Celestials and humans aren't inherently enemies. They coexist in a fragile peace in various types of relationships, including full-on cooperation and open trade. Many human worlds are subjected to celestial control, but the humans there are relatively free, and the people are relatively happy under the celestial rule. Though of course there are voices that say that humans should be free of celestial control. Lydon, on the other hand, is an independent colony that is outside the Crown Dominion rule. They are close, but there is not a direct reason to fight them. It isn't even a good idea to agitate any Celestials. They are far more advanced than humans, and a potential provocation would bring a swift response, which, when dealing with Celestials, usually means a decade or two. But anyway, a potential conflict would be short and very one-sided. Humans know they wouldn't stand a chance, and they tread carefully around Celestials. So anything we do in the game will likely be an at most insignificant blip on the Crown Dominion's radar. There is another big celestial player on the scene, the Marayama, and you really don't want to draw their attention. The Marayama are brutal, and even the other celestials are nervous around them. The Marayama are a nomadic species spread all around the Centauri cluster. Their ships are huge, and it usually takes a large celestial alliance to challenge a Marayama fleet. On top of that, nobody really knows how many Marayama there are, ready to deliver retribution, so taking them out is completely out of question for the game too. Other than that, there isn't really too much that would link the game and the novel. There isn't a busy traffic between Leiden and the novel's settings, so the game's story is essentially a free playing field. I hope it will explore many different paths and possibilities, including failing our task to save Leiden. We should not need to wait too long. The game is set to release next year, and then all the questions will be answered. I am looking forward to seeing both the second novel's ending and if the game lives up to the expectations, which are set very high. I will be in the first wave for both. If you are still here, thanks for sticking by. Have a great day and see you next time.